Well, here we are then, folks. FM23 official launch day, which of course means the first episode of this year's Non-League to Legend. Not sure what Non-League to Legend is? No worries. I released a video yesterday giving you a bit of a preview intro / rule set for the save. So I'll link to that down in the description below. You can go and watch that if you need to be clued in on what the save is all about. But the key thing you need to be aware of is that we are starting with Peterborough Sports in the National League North. We'll get to that in just a moment, but before we do, I am giving away a couple of copies of Football Manager 2023. So let's get that done first. Get the business out of the way first. Copy number 1 is going to be given away to somebody who retweets the announcement that this episode is live. I'll put the link to that tweet down in the description below. Just retweet it. In a couple of days' time, I'll pick somebody to give the copy of the game to. Easy peasy. And game copy number 2 will be to someone in the comments section. You just literally have to leave a comment in the comments section. It can be as simple as, I'd like to win FM23, please. But I'll randomly select someone from the comment section again in a couple of days, and that person will win a copy of the game. What's more, if you want episode 2 of this series today, like the video. If we can get to 5,000 likes on this video before 9 o'clock today, there will be an episode 2 that drops probably at 9 o'clock. It might be a little bit earlier if we hit it earlier and I've got it finished in time. But yeah, you'll get it at the latest at 9 o'clock if we hit 5,000 likes. We've done it the last couple of years. We did it on the beta save. We should be able to do it again, but let's not get complacent. Let's leave a thumbs up. Make sure that that we get a second episode out today. And of course, if you are new, subscribe to the channel, turn your notifications on. There is so much FM23 content coming out at you at the moment. I want to make sure you don't miss out on any of it. But let's move housekeeping to one side now, roll the new intro, and get started with Peterborough Sports. Hello and welcome to part 1 of Non-League to Legend FM23 edition. I'm Kev, and as you can see, I am the new manager of Peterborough Sports in the National League North, aka the Turbines. Look, their shirts on the wall, and their shirts on the wall. I've already been ordering off of the club shop. Peterborough Sports have today confirmed the appointment of Kevin Chapman as the club's new manager. Eyebrows have been raised in the world of football at the appointment of the inexperienced 39-year-old. Last year I'm under 40 at the start of Non-League to Legend, and he's sure to face plenty of questions when he faces the media for the first time at B Arena. They are very ambitious if they think I'm going to be facing the media at all at any arena. Chapman has put pen to paper on a 1-year deal worth £750 a week and replaces previous manager Jimmy Dean. But of course, long-time viewers know where this is going. I don't live in Peterborough. I live a little bit further away. How far away do I live, I hear you cry? Why, nice of you to ask. Roughly 41.4 miles from the middle of Leicester, where I don't live, but I do live in the Leicester area, to Peterborough Sports Stadium, which is the B Arena, and it's here. If you know Peterborough, it's opposite where PC World is. I didn't know either, and I lived in Peterborough most of my life. That's Peterborough Sports, and just over here, you have Peterborough United. So we have a local rival up in League One. If we make it that far, that could be interesting. At the moment, these clubs don't hate each other because Peterborough Sports have spent most of their history deep down in the deepest, darkest depths of non-league, but they've had a number of promotions in recent years. They are now in the playable leagues in the National League North, and if we can continue the run that Peterborough Sports have been on, we could become proper local rivals of Peterborough United before too long. We probably will need to upgrade the ground, though, because it's not exactly Football League quality currently. In fact, I'm going to go and check it out for myself this Saturday in real life. I'm going to be heading down to Peterborough Sports to watch them play Saturday afternoon. If anyone is around the local area and wants to come and hang out with me, feel free to do so. But back into the video. We're not arranging a date, for goodness sake. As we've established, I live an hour's drive away, or 2 hours 22 minutes on the train. I mean, what a ridiculous route you have to get. Is that a train route? Are you telling me to get from Leicester to Peterborough on the train, you have to go up to Nottingham, across to Grantham, and then down? That's 2 changes. That's ridiculous. I need to move to Peterborough, which of course means a trip to the good old Halifax mortgage calculator. Other mortgage calculators are available based on my starting salary of £750 a week or £39,000 a year. Tier 6 managers are quite well paid these days, it seems. I could borrow up to £169,500. So we need to go house hunting. Now, thankfully, compared to last year's non-league to legend, Peterborough is quite a lot cheaper than Leamington Spa. We have 189 properties in the Peterborough area at less than £160,000. There is loads of choice on here. I mean, I am spoilt for choice. That one looks like an office building. I really like the look of this one, £155,000 for a lovely 2-bed bungalow, until I realised it was for over 55s only, which, regardless of what Dr. Benji might tell you, I am a long, long way away from being able to buy this house. A long way away. I actually think my best bet is to choose somewhere to live in the same way as I'll choose players for this Peterborough Sports team. None of those old ones that have been there years. I want the shiny, new-looking stuff. So I quite like the look of this flat on Cubbit Way. We have a floor plan. I always appreciate a floor plan. We've got a bathroom and another bathroom. I don't know why we need 2 bathrooms, 2 equally sized bedrooms. That looks like somewhere to sleep, somewhere to set up a home office. Very cool. And a kitchen, diner, lounge situation. We're having a threesome at that end of the flat. If we have a look through the pictures, long-time viewers will know one of the key indicators of wealth is how many chairs you can fit in the place that you live in. And this place is absolutely stacked with them. You can fit 3 on there, I'm sure. You got a 2-seater there. I mean, you could put your posterior on that. And is that a children's chair? There's loads of chairs. More in the kitchen. A weird choice to have a dining room table and only 3 chairs. I assume it's a 3 or, I guess, 4-person family. They've got the high chair in there. But can you even buy a dining table set with a chair missing? I'm not sure that you can. We've got a lovely little shower, bathroom, ensuite situation. You can sleep 3 in that room and another 2 there. Another chair in front of some kind of musical instrument. It's just chairs for days. They got a big telly as well. I tell you what, this house slash flat, this flat feels like somewhere for us to put down some roots. And now I guess we need to head over to the actual football club. And here we are back in my office at said football club. Quite like the fact that it's the Daily Star have broken the news about the new appointment at Peterborough Sports, just like it would be in real life. This is our chairman, Grant Biddle. There he is. Look, everyone say hello to Grant. On behalf of everyone at Peterborough Sports, I'd like to formally welcome you to the club. This is very formal, Grant. I assumed we'd just have a chat and a cup of coffee. Please familiarise yourself with the club through our helpful welcome pack. I want to see the real-life helpful welcome pack. Before we move on to discuss the vision and objectives we'll be working towards collectively. I've moved the words around there. Congratulations and welcome aboard. So there we have the badge. There we have the kit again. It's a 1-star reputation club that the media think are going to finish 17th in the league this year. Apparently, we have a director of football, despite being in Tier 6, and an assistant manager, and were founded in 1908, which is actually earlier than Peterborough United. This club has been going longer than our City not rivals, because we have no rivals yet. We'll deal with that. We're looking to we booked our place in the National League North by winning promotion from the Southern League Premier Central last year. We entered the FA Cup in the second qualifying round, as we do the FA Trophy. There's our club history. And frankly, regardless of what this says, I can tell you that the greatest period in the club's history has been the last few years. The Turbines are a club with a growing history. Finished runners-up in Tier 7 for the only time in 2022, won the English 8th tier for the only time in 2019, won the English 9th tier for the only time in 2017, and won the English 10th tier for the only time in 2016. I told you this has been a meteoric rise. Go back 6 years, this club was in Tier 10. For context, that's where Bourne Town were, who we did a Road to Glory with a few years ago. That's lower than we start home when we do a home save. We put them in at Tier 8. There has been a Road to Glory going on already, and now I'm just jumping on to try and enjoy the ride. B Arena has a capacity of 2,300 people, but we don't really have much in the way of facilities. Because did I mention 6 years ago we were in Tier 10? We were basically a Sunday League club. That does look like quite a generous wage budget, though, for this level. These are our best players in our best arrangement. We'll probably try and stick to this 4-3-3 shape. because I expect we're not going to be able to do a lot in the way of transfers. Michael Gash is a name you'll recognise if you've watched previous non-League Legends. We've had him before, and not only that, we're sponsoring him in real life this year. We are the kit sponsors of Michael Gash. If you follow Peterborough Sports on Twitter, which I suggest you do, become a fan of the club in real life as well. Anytime Michael Gash scores, his little goal animation has my channel logo on, which is just super duper fun. So Michael Gash is our hero, our friend, and our player coach, who I suspect is going to be hanging out with me for a few years in this save. Jordan Nicholson is another player who'll be familiar to you from previous saves. He was part of our Nuneaton Road to Glory a few years ago, was fantastic in that. He was fantastic in real life earlier on this season until he got another bad injury. He's had a career plagued by injuries, unfortunately. Picked up another injury earlier this year when he was in fantastic goal-scoring form. And I think Ryan Fryer is another veteran of previous non-League Legend. I forget who we had him at previously. Maybe Kings Lynn, maybe Kettering, maybe both. There's lots of familiar names here and lots of other faces that I'm sure we'll get to know over the course of the save as well. Our captain is this guy, apparently, Richard Jones. And he looks absolutely delighted about it, despite only being a fringe player. The board are looking for me to sign players under the age of 23 for the first team. You've already seen how I picked my living accommodation. I'm well on board with that. They want me to work within the budget and grow the club's reputation. No crazy ambitions, which is good. They want us to finish in the mid-table of the National League North, which, I mean, the media are saying 17th. That's actually quite a tall order, and it's required. And I'm not sure what be competitive in the FA Cup means. They're not looking for a quarter-final. And of course, my contract expires at the end of this season as well. And we're moving towards, by the end of this 5-year plan, getting into the playoffs in the league we're in now and starting to look in terms of continuing the march up the league that this team has been on for the last several years. The supporters are looking for us to strive to make progress on and off the pitch and become an established National League North team. It looks like we're all in the same boat, all with the same plan. We're not looking for a crazy promotion this year. We're looking to establish ourselves at the highest level this club has ever played at. And if we can achieve that, that'd be marvellous as far as I'm concerned. I suppose I'll meet the media. I don't want to have these meetings too often, though. And now I guess we jump into our inbox, where we're going to have a little bit of a look around, see what we've got. As mentioned, if we get to 5,000 likes on this video, there'll be an episode 2 later on today, which will deal with transfers and matches and things like that. For this episode, we're just going to get to know the club, get to know the squad, maybe come up with a plan, see what we're up against, and we'll get into some matches in episode 2, which will hopefully be later today. But this is our supporter profile. Believe it or not, no corporate fans. Who'd have thought? Club vision and we've already done that. We can just accept that. We know that's fine. Injury list. We have one long-term injury, Manish, who is 3-star. I mean, he looks quite good, doesn't he? Used to play for Benfica. Well, used to live near Benfica. Lovely stuff. He's been here years as well. That is an interesting one. So I'm looking forward to getting him back. Our number 10, but he is injured for the first 3 months of the season. We need a tactical direction. Right. We've already said we're probably going to do a 4-3-3. I'm not going to park the bus or do route 1. We'll go wing play. It's the other one that's recommended by my staff. We're going to stick the 4-3-3 on. We'll obviously tweak this as we get further into the save. Let's just see who our best players would be in this system, though. So Mark Jones as a target man. Where's Gash? We want Gash. There he is. He's also... So it looks like we're playing with a target man. I think we're probably going to do something along the lines of a target man and then probably have both our wide players getting forward. We probably... I don't really like Anchorman as a role, but we'll perhaps have a ball-winning midfielder in there. And we need someone bursting out of midfield. Potentially... I mean, if he can play as a playmaker on attack, if that's his best role... And I'm thinking in terms of Manish as well, when he's fit, although he's more of an attacking player, he can't play centre mid. So really, we're going to have to find a way to fit him in when the time comes. But for now, something like this might get the job done. What does the squad planner think? Now, squad planner, be aware, doesn't include non-contract players. So we've got a lot of them. So effectively, in the early years of non-League Legend, the squad planner is going to be entirely useless because any of these non-contract players are not going to show up on it. it's not ideal. Finances-wise, we've not really got much gap in our wage budget, but as mentioned, half the squad are non-contract. So some of these are good players that we're going to want to keep around. Someone like Marsh Brown, 3-star, 4-star, fits into the system that we want to play. He's probably someone we're going to want to keep around. So we can either offer him a proper contract, a big boy contract, or just keep him on a non-contract basis. However, if we can find players who can come in and improve the squad, we could look at someone like Lewis Hilliard, who is only a 2-star current ability player. He's 31 years old. He's not on a contract. He's the kind of player we could probably release on a free transfer. I know he's been here a long time. He scored 10 goals that year. But we have, I mean, look at his career profile. Isn't exactly chock full of National League North, apart from a spell at Boston a little while ago. But he's the kind of player who we could probably release without it costing us anything because he's non-contract to create some gaps in the squad. So my plan over the course of between now and episode 2, which should be later today, 5,000 likes, remember, is probably to replace a big chunk of these non-contract players because we can get rid of them now. Obviously, there are players who are on contracts who aren't ideal. Richard Jones, another one who's a 2-star player. I mean, he's a 6'5" centre-back, so, you know, and he's our captain. Maybe not quite up to standard to actually play for us, though. But he has been here a long time. He's played over 150 games for the club. And because he's under contract till the end of the season, he's going to be much harder to get rid of because we're going to struggle to find another club who are going to pay a 33-year-old 2-star current ability player £350 a week. So even if we offered him to someone for nothing, he's not going to agree a contract. So we're probably going to have to keep players like that around until the end of this season when everybody is out of contract. So the big rebuild will be next summer. But we can get started now because there's so many players on non-contracts and try and bring in some youngsters, some freebies. I don't know what's out there, but we need to get our scouts out trying to find it and take advantage of the fact we've got this director of football who can hopefully make some recommendations as well. I feel like he is a non-league to legend veteran as well. I recognise that name. Frenchie. Why am I feeling the name Frenchie come back from somewhere? Was he at Leamington? Where was Frenchie? Let me know down in the comments section. If you've been around for previous seasons, previous series, let me know where Frenchie was, because I'm certain we've had a goalkeeper called Frenchie before. We've got plenty of options here. We have loaded up a lot of pretty much every player based in England or who is English as part of the game setup. People always ask, so I will show you how the game is set up. The only leagues we've got as playable at the moment are England. All the rest of this is view only, purely in the interest of keeping the game speed decent. As we move up the leagues, we'll take some of these out and start to make some of these playable as well. We've got Scotland playable as well, actually, at the moment as well, because if we're going to make a jump early on, the most logical jump is to Scotland. We're probably not going to jump to Brazil early on in the save. So because we've got every English player and every player based in England loaded, our player count is quite high. That number will start to drop down as some of those players retire. And as that drops, we can start to add some more of these leagues on to make them playable, with the plan being by the time we're kind of League One Championship level, we at least have all the European leagues loaded. And by the time we're upper Championship or hitting the Premier League, we need to have Argentina and Brazil loaded as well, just to make sure we have a nice worldwide selection of players available to us. But the kind of players I'm talking about who are going to drop off and retire, I mean, someone like this, he's going to be in this database for this season only, and then he's done. We're also probably not going to sign him, although he's got up to 20 for strength. He is a big, strong boy, but I'm not signing a 40-year-old. Probably. I make no promises. I may well sign a 40-year-old. Have we got anyone in the... No. Do we have any... Do we have a youth team? No, we don't have a youth team. That's interesting. Not sure what to do about that. We'll deal with that in episode 2, which hopefully you've enjoyed this one enough to leave a like so we can get to 5,000 likes and get episode 2 out later today. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. Turn your notifications on, and I will see you hopefully in a few hours when we'll have done some transfers, be ready to play some games, and we'll have a better idea of exactly what we're letting ourselves in for as part of Non-League to Legend FM23. Thanks for watching, folks.